What's happening YouTube? This is Champion 2D Rob back again. How's everybody doing? This is going to be a pickups video, guys. I know some of you guys were expecting me to do a part 2 to my Mega Drive collection. That is coming, but I just kind of felt that I needed to make this pickups video because I've just got a couple of items here that I really want to put in box protectors and put them out of the way as soon as possible. But also, I just want to quickly just sort of apologise for my delays in videos. Not that I imagine anyone's even noticed or even cares, but yeah, I've just had some issues to sort out. I've had a bit of a bad week, bad few days in my own sort of personal life. Just been a bit stressful, so I just wasn't in the mood to make any videos. I just wasn't in that mind frame. But also, I actually did film a part 2 to my Mega Drive collection set. But after I filmed it, I kind of realised I was missing a lot of games and I didn't know where they were. So I ended up having to sort of start looking for them. And then once I started doing that, it turned into this huge sprinkling job that lasted like 2 days. And yeah, so it wound up becoming a very messy thing to do. I did end up finding my games, thankfully, so I've got them all together now. But it was a bit of a big job, a bit of a mess. So that also delayed the video as well. But I'm going to start pumping out these videos, so you should start seeing, after this pickups vid, you will start seeing all the other vids slowly roll out over the course of next week. So anyway, yeah, so I wanted to just go right into this pickups video because I've managed to secure some holy grails. So I'm very, very happy and I'm very excited to show you guys. If some of you that follow me on social media probably know what they are now, but for the rest of you guys, I'm just excited to show you guys what I got. But let's just get right into it. I've got a mixture here of modern and retro, so I'm going to start quickly on one retro item here, and that is going to be this manual for Golden Axe. Now, if you remember my last pickups video, my copy of Golden Axe which I bought wasn't in the best shape to start with. It was filthy, it was disgusting, whatever. Now I cleaned it out, I managed to make it really nice and presentable, but the only thing I wasn't completely happy with was the manual. After watching that video, Stu, 2 very kindly got in touch with me and just said, look, I might have a spare manual. I'll just send it your way if I find it. And he did. So thank you very much, Stu, mate. That is really very much appreciated. So I'm just sort of putting it out there. Like, I've got I'm going to replace the old one with this manual. But the old manual that I have, you know, if anybody needs a spare manual for Golden Axe, I'm very happy to move it on to you guys, either as a permanent solution or as a placeholder. But if you do opt to use it as a placeholder, all I ask is that you give it to somebody else for free and just pass it along. But yeah, thank you so much, Stu, for this, mate. That really helped me out, so thank you so much, man. Okay, so moving on to the modern stuff quickly here, and it's basically all Switch related. I've got a couple of accessories and some games as well. So I think we'll start with the accessories. First thing I picked up was a official recharger plug, and the reason why I bought another one is because since I've decided to hook up my Switch, I kind of want to keep the dock all set up and connected to my TV. But when I opt to use it on handheld mode and I want to sort of charge it up separately, I've just got this to hand as well. So yeah, so I've got that. Also, I picked up the Daemon X Machina, what was it called? The Switch, what was it called? The Split Pad Pro. I wanted these extra hand grips, and I have to say I've been really impressed by them. Actually, they really do suit sort of bigger hands, because ultimately when I play in handheld mode, what I've been doing was I've been using a extended grip, but still using the Joy-Cons. But this allows me to use a proper D-pad with a much larger grip hold and better buttons. Essentially, basically everything that I need that is suited for a person like myself that has bigger hands. So I would probably only use this though as in handheld mode at home. But if I do opt to travel with my Switch, I will still use the original Joy-Cons with my other grip, because I have a case for it and it fits perfectly. So that's probably what I would use if I'm actually out and about with it. But in terms of handheld mode at home, this is what I use. And I've already used it quite a bit now, and I really do like it. So if you are considering a better alternative to playing handheld mode, and like me, you've got chunky hands, then this is probably the thing to go for. Okay, next up I have a bunch of Switch games here. Some really cool titles. First up is the Disney Classics game Aladdin and The Lion King. Yeah, just opted to buy this. I originally wasn't going to buy this. I held off. But while this has both the Mega Drive versions of Aladdin and The Lion King, it also has the Game Boy version of Aladdin as well. And that's primarily the reason why I wanted to buy this, was because I wanted to check out the Game Boy version of that. I already have the Mega Drive version of Aladdin, so it's not really something that I need to own. But I've actually never played the Lion King. I've never played that game before, so that would be a first for me. So yeah, I just thought I'd pick that up. Next game I have here is Yoku's Island Express. Now I actually bought this game. I was reminded to buy this game from Big Al, Planet Retro. How you doing, mate? Yeah, he picked this up for the PlayStation 4. And I'd completely forgotten all about it. And this is actually a really interesting game. It's basically a 2D Metroidvania style of game, but the difference with this game is that the character you control functions like a pinball. So it's not like a conventional action platformer. Like, it really functions like a pinball table. So there's no jump mechanic. You have to use the various springboards that are littered around the levels to move your character around. So I thought that was really quite interesting. So that's why I wanted to pick this up. Next game I bought here is a collection of Mana. And I mean, most of you guys are aware this is basically a collection of all the Secret of Mana games. I've actually, believe it or not, when I was a kid, I did get to play Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo. I remember a friend of mine at the time was a massive fan of it, and I remember going around to his house, and he was trying to show the game to me, and at the time I wasn't actually very impressed with it. I was very much about, like my action side-scroller games and stuff, but I have to admit, in my later years, I do kind of enjoy the sort of real-time action RPG type games. I'm still not much of a fan of the turn-based ones, but the real-time ones do work for me. So I thought I would give the series a try, really, especially to all the 16-bit ones. I know that was it Trials of Mana? Basically, that's on this game got remade and it's a modern version. I might pick that one up later on, but for the time being, I'm just going to stick with this and see how I go with it. Next game I bought here, and this is really to go with my strategy RPGs, because I know I said I don't like turn-based RPGs, but I didn't really mean the tactical RPGs. I do enjoy those. So here's one I've never ever played before, so I'm willing to give this one a shot, and that's Langrisser 1 and 2. I believe this is a remake of two. I believe there was 16-bit games originally, but essentially this is very much in the mold of like a Fire Emblem or a Advance Wars. It's that kind of style of game. So, and after playing the Fire Emblem games, I do enjoy sort of that sort of fantasy medieval type setting. So I'm willing to sort of give a new series a go and see what this one is like in compared to Fire Emblem. And finally for the Switch, I picked up Yoshi's Crafted World. And the reason why I picked this up, again, I held off on this for a long time. But the reason why I picked it up was because I played the demo of it and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, I just really liked it. It's a really nice, easygoing, you know, fun, enjoyable title. Very much in that sort of Kirby mold, you know. It's a very unique, beautiful looking game, and yeah, I just found myself really enjoying the demo, so I wanted to add it into my collection as well, and I look forward to giving this one a playthrough. Okay, so that is basically it in terms of Switch. Now we're gonna move into sort of more of the modern, not modern, the retro-ish stuff now. First thing I want to talk about here, and this is something I was really excited to get. I should explain, basically, it was my birthday a few weeks ago in sort of early May, and I decided to treat myself, quite frankly, especially now that we're in this sort of current lockdown situation. I just thought, you know what, fuck it. I want to shell out. I want to spend some of the cash I've got, and this has been something that's been on my wish list for a very long time, pretty much since they announced it. It was just a matter of fact of whether I was going to pull the trigger on it or not, and I did hesitate on pulling the trigger on this for a long time, but then after speaking with a mate, you know, it just sort of convinced me to get it. And I am absolutely over the moon with it. I love it to bits. And what I picked up was the Terra Onion Mega SD. So if you don't know, guys, this is basically a flash card to an Everdrive to play on your Mega Drive or your Mega Drive alternative system. In my case, the Mega SG. And what's so great about this is that it's an FPGA based flash card which allows you to play Mega CD games as well as Mega Drive and Master System and 32X games, all without the use of the hardware, with the exception of the 32X. Unfortunately, to play 32X games, it does require you to use the 32X add-on, but for all the other stuff, you don't need the add-on, so you don't need a Mega CD to play the Mega CD games, and it works like a champ. I absolutely love this thing, and I was also hooked up with an SD card, fully loaded with ROMs from pretty much every region, Mega Drive wise, Mega CD, Master System, 32X. And I'm over the moon with it. It's been fantastic. So I've been giving this a lot of playtime, playing a lot of Mega CD games for the first time, and that's primarily why I wanted to buy this. It was to play Mega CD games because I've always wanted to get into the Mega CD, but I just wasn't really willing to buy the add-on because, quite frankly, I'm not a fan of buying old CD-ROM based systems, just because they seem to be quite unreliable, and I just didn't want to go through that headache. But I did want to play the games. Specific games I wanted to play. Final Fight CD was probably the first game I wanted to play. Fantastic, by the way. Really did. That's the first time I've ever played it, and I loved it. The music was awesome. You know, I still don't think it's the best version of Final Fight. I mean, that's because I'm so used to playing the arcade version now, but it's still really good, and it's great to hear the music. It's a bit weird that they've never sort of considered releasing like a special edition of Final Fight for modern systems that give you the option with the Mega CD music. That seems like a bit of a missed opportunity. But yeah, I love playing that. Playing Robo Aleste was fantastic. Always wanted to play Robo Aleste. Really glad I can finally play that. As well as the Terminator. That game is fantastic. Yeah, I was really happy to finally get around to playing that game. And giving Snatcher a go. That was interesting. I've always wanted to play that game, so yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun to try out for the first time. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with this, and I want to say a big thank you to the person that hooked me up with the SD card. That person wants to remain anonymous. He don't want me to give out his name, so I'll just say a big thank you, mate. You sorted me out, and I'm absolutely over the moon with this. And if any of you guys are thinking about getting this, but you're afraid to pull the trigger, get it, guys. You won't regret it. It's an amazing system. I love it. Okay, so moving on again to some retro games here. Next one I've got here, this is a Game Boy game, and that is Zen Intergalactic Ninja. And this was a game, I can't remember who recommended this game to me. It was definitely, it was a YouTuber. I can't remember if it was Mega Drew or if it was 16-bit Brit. It was someone, I can't remember who, but anyway, yeah. So basically, what this is, it's a 2D action side scroller, as you would probably imagine. But there was actually an NES version of the game, and the NES version is sort of like it is a 2D action side scroller, but it also has isometric levels as well. And it's just basically one of those titles that's it's basically one of those titles that not a lot of people talk about, and it's a decent little action title, and it's not too expensive either. So if you are picking up for the Game Boy or the NES, definitely give a look for a Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Okay, so finally we're going to move on to some Super Famicom games I've got here. Now these games are absolutely what I wanted for a long time. They're grails of mine. Again, this is basically a birthday gift to myself. Been meaning to get these games for the longest time, so finally I have them in my possession, and I'm happy to report I've gone through them. They're all legit copies. I've opened them all up, so I'm very happy to get them. So the first one I picked up here, and this is one I basically needed because I have the second game in the series, and that is Sonic Blast Man. And if you don't know what this game is, guys, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it's a decent little beat 'em up. I don't think it's as good as the sequel. The sequel is way better than this one, but it's a very cool game, and yeah, it's in lovely condition. It is sort of squished a little bit, but aside from that, it's in lovely condition. It is complete. I won't open it up and stuff. I'll save you all of that. But trust me when I say that it is complete. It's in nice condition, and I'm really chuffed to get this game. I've had the sequel now for a while, and I really do love the sequel. It's a really good game. Unlike the sequel, this one is only one player only. But what I didn't know actually was that what I wasn't aware of with this game is that it does have like mini games where it does homage the original arcade machine. And if you guys weren't aware, Sonic Blast Man in the arcades was not a side-scrolling beat 'em up, but rather it was a punching machine. And it was one that I used to play a lot in the arcades. Like me and my mates would play on it so much. It's basically one of the ones that has like a big massive punching bag, and then you would hit it as hard as you can, and then it would give you like a strength level. And there was like a screen with like a character, and then every time you punched it, the character would bruise up. And of course, depending on how hard you would hit, the bruising would be more severe. And it's great that there's actually like a little mini game within this that homages that as well, which you can play, which I thought was actually really cool, and I didn't realise was on there. But yeah, really glad to finally get this one in the collection. And the next game here is another one that I've actually owned this game as a loose cart pal for a long time, and I've kind of wrestled with whether I should have bought this game complete or not for Super Famicom. I would have liked to have had it complete on the PAL system, but it's ridiculous. It goes for stupid money. I just wasn't prepared to go there. That's if you can find it in decent condition to begin with. But I finally relented and decided to pick this one up, pull the trigger on it, and I'm really chuffed to get it. And that's Final Fight 2. As you guys are aware, this is also a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and yeah, it's in lovely condition, and of course it is complete as well. Yeah, really chuffed to get this in the collection. Yeah, just I like the artwork, and that's really what was bothering me, was that I just kind of missed all the artwork from the games. And I've always wanted to have these games complete in some form or another. And I suppose the Super Famicom version is the best version to get anyway, as it is in 60 Hertz. So yeah, really chuffed to get this. And of course, finally, a long time holy grail of mine, one title I've wanted to get for a super long time. Pull the trigger on it. I was scared to death while I was waiting for it, because I was scared it was going to end up being a repro. Thankfully it's not. I've gone through it meticulously. It's not a repro. It is complete as well, so I'm really chuffed. And that is Final Fight Tough, also known as Final Fight 3. Really chuffed to get this one in the collection. Yeah, long time coming. I didn't even think I was gonna ever buy this complete. It is a very expensive game. I actually managed to get it for a decent price, so I was quite lucky with that. I will say though that it's not in perfect condition. The manual itself is probably the worst thing about it. It's not in awful condition by any means, but there is like some slight stains on it. There's like a minor rip on it, but aside from that, it's in excellent condition, and I'm really happy to finally have Final Fight Tough in the collection, as this is probably my favorite Final Fight game. And yeah, so really happy to finally get this one. I'm so chuffed. I was playing this for like a really long time, and this is actually another one that I actually happen to have in PAL, a loose cart, and it just bothered me that I didn't have a complete copy of it. And again, the PAL version was just ridiculous. Like I would not be able to afford it, but this one here was way more affordable, even though it was still expensive. But yeah, I just thought I would treat myself, and this was basically sort of like my main gift to myself, I should say. So yeah, really chuffed to get this. So yeah, that's basically been my pickups. I've sort of decided that I'm going to try and go for as many side-scrolling beat-em-ups as I can. There are a few stipulations with that, of course. Like, I'm going to try and avoid ports of stuff I already have. So if I've already got the game in one format, I'm trying not to buy it in other formats. I just want a sort of one per format. But yeah, I'm just trying to get that's sort of going to be my little subset, is just trying to go for as many side-scrolling beat-em-ups as I can. And yeah, I think with those out of the way now, at least for Super Famicom, you know, don't get me wrong, there are still some big hitters on the Super Famicom, but those were, for me, was just some giant holes in my collection that I needed to sort out. So glad to finally have those, and yeah, it's been amazing. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate you for sticking around, watching the video, and of course, if you leave a comment, I do appreciate that as well. And yeah, I will see you guys again soon. Look out for my next Mega Drive collection vid. I won't leave you too long with that one, guys, so it'll be around probably within the next couple of days or so. Anyway, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.